Well, Sarah Jessica Parker finally revealed when she fell in love with Matthew Broderick. She said she saw Ferris Bueller's Big Day Out and immediately wished she could have had such a big, huge day out just like him. So when they met in real life, she said, "How did you have such a big day out?" And he said, "Let me show you." And he took her to all of the same things that Ferris Bueller did on his big day out: the museum, the parade, that baseball game, that car that one guy has. And after that, he said, "Will you continue to have big days out like this with me for the rest of our lives?" And she said, "You had me at big day. Now here's Amy."
I love that.
Good, good. Yeah, I was very interested to learn that because I watched that clip and I had no idea that she was such a huge Ferris Bueller's Big Day Out head, and I didn't know that he kind of courted her with that big, sort of huge romantic day with all that stuff. And so all of it was kind of like, whoa. I was like, wow, I was happy to learn that.
Did I tell you that when I was in Ireland, I stayed very close to where their Irish homestead is?
Oh, I thought you were going to say, sorry. I thought you were going to say a horrible thing. So they have a home in Ireland?
Yeah,
Oh, I
his
didn't.
mom is from this place, and you'll never guess what it's called. I told you already, but
Oh,
the listeners need to know the thing you're thinking of. He ironically, the town he lives in Ireland is called Kilcar.
no. Oh my God. So you told me that. Okay, wait. So that's where he lives, and they have a house there too. And then that's why he was in Ireland for that one time in his life earlier.
Presumably.
Oh my God. Wow. I didn't know that they had a home in Ireland that they still go back to.
Yeah, I we went into one shop and they had mugs made by his sister.
Whoa. Matthew Broderick's sister makes mugs and they were available that you could get on your trip.
Yeah, it was like I forget her name, but it was like Janine Broderick mugs, and we were like, "Do you think that's so and so?" And then we looked it up, and it was.
Oh, that's amazing. What, if you don't mind me asking, what was the sort of particular essence of those mugs?
You know, like crafty, hand thrown vibes.
Crafty hand thrown. Wow. Do you think that if you went up to their manor in Ireland, that they would be more receptive to Irish, like, or not Irish people, but like people coming to see them in the Ireland? Oh my God. Wait, everyone go to YouTube for a second. Muckross mugs. Wow, a lot of
Hand
Irish stuff.
thrown by Janet Broderick.
Oh, holy shit, they're beautiful. They look completely like beautiful clay, frosted glaze or frosted clay pots and mugs. They look amazing. But do you think that if you saw Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broderick and you went to their house in Ireland, they'd be a lot more receptive? Because like in America, we're a little bit more like we're like paparazzis and we're celebrity obsessed and stuff, kind of scary, weird. But in Ireland, I bet that they're like, I bought you, or sorry, I was going to do an Irish accent, but it's like, I bought your sister's mug. Like, can I come over and drink tea out of it
Can
or
I come
something?
over?
I wonder if they're a little more receptive to Irish people and tourists who are visiting Ireland, and that's sort of like they're more comfortable there. Because I guess I keep thinking, I wish that you would have like popped up at their door and said hi.
Yeah, I've heard that no one really bugs them there. Like they kind of treat them like normal. But there was this one shop that had a photo of Sarah Jessica Parker wearing a Donegal wool coat on, and just like that. And they were saying you can buy that here. So they do use the fact that they are patrons.
Wow. Oh my God. But I think what you just said, it kind of encapsulates everything. They're less, they treat them more normal. They treat them more normally there than us. We're kind of like, we're like rolling around like pigs in shit whenever we see a celebrity. Like if you saw like, Stellan Skarsgård or whatever, and he was just, like in the window,
Okay.
he was in the window at like, I don't know, like a coffee shop, Superba or something. I'd be like, oh my God, I'd try to get a photo and I'd be like, what are you drinking? Can I get you another cup of coffee? But there it's probably like, they don't care. They don't have a lot of celebrities except like, Barry Keoghan,
Killian
um,
Murphy.
Killian Murphy. And so they're probably like, oh, we treat you just like, I think they take the piss out of celebrities a little bit more there.
Yeah. I just saw yesterday, it was a People Mag exclusive of Reese Witherspoon in the sea with her
Yeah.
apparent boyfriend.
Oliver
And
Harsman.
the photos, I'm like, is the paparazzi literally like on a little floaty right next to
I saw I saw that too. They had a TMZ. TMZ said it was an exclusive. They said
them.
Reese Witherspoon commits PDA with a boyfriend named Oliver Harsman, and the photos were just like that as well. Like somebody was in an inner tube or tubing along or in the same yacht chartered with them because they were just as close up. So maybe they had multiple paparazzos in the midst of them showing them off like
Yeah.
that.
I liked seeing because my first reaction was to laugh because the photos are so insanely staged looking. And then the comments on People Mag were like, it's not PDA if they were in private. Leave them alone. And I was
Oh,
like, come on.
yeah, it's sweet. Why do you think Reese wanted the little bump of publicity?
Morning show coming back.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Wow, that's still on. That's amazing.
They're
That's
going to
awesome.
have to resolve how she turned herself in for lying about her brother being on January 6th.
Holy shit! Was that that you? I remember you telling me that. Was that the cliffhanger of season 3?
Yeah. I think she walked into the federal building and was like, I lied.
Holy shit! They go, oh my god, you committed the cardinal sin that journalists can never commit.
Yeah.
How did you see him again? Was he wearing a mask, but then he went to scream something, and he pulled the mask down for a second, and then she
Don't
could
tread
tell.
on me. And she saw his face. Yeah. Something like that. And then he tries to lie about it. And she's like, why were you in DC? And he's like, oh, I just had something to do.
Oh my God. Oh my God. People who were on planes to DC on January 5th and January 6th. Wow. You have to
Yeah.
really explain yourself.
Did you see that? This is non sequitur to the max, but that Aaron Sorkin's Social Network sequel is probably about Jan 6th.
I saw that. Yes, I saw that. I was just going to say in Aaron Sorkin because I was thinking about how topical morning show is. It's kind of,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like it plays in the sand of our contemporary politics a lot with that January 6th stuff. And I was like, who do I know that does that? Aaron Sorkin. He did that on what's that? The Newsroom. Yeah. And so I was thinking, oh my God, he was probably, him getting his hands on that Facebook sequel and knowing that he gets to incorporate January 6th. I mean, I bet he's writing his out. If I could picture Aaron Sorkin right now, he's got a typewriter in front of his hand.
He's back on Coke.
He's got a big cup of coffee. He just did a huge line of Coke, and he's ripping through Social Network 2. That's going to be amazing.
Yeah. Does your gut say that Jesse Eisenberg would be in it?
My gut says if they get all the principals back and it's Sorkin and then David Fincher gets done with that film where it's like a sequel to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and then he gets done with that, then Jesse Eisenberg is saying, wow, the dream team is back. Those Winklevoss boys. No, that was Army Hammer. Oh, never mind. You can't get Army.
They're dead in this version.
They're like crypto boys, probably. That's easy to explain. They'd be like they're doing crypto stuff now. And then Aaron Sorkin gets to do a little crypto. Oh my God, he wants to get his hands on that crypto universe.
Yeah.
So he's taking care of. I don't want to say it again, but he's rolling around like a pig in shit with all this sort of new topical stuff he could get his hands on. And then if you get Andrew Garfield back, Justin Timberlake, Jesse Eisenberg is not going to be the holdout. He's going to be like, I'll return to being Zuckerberg. And then, sorry to keep talking about this, but then Jesse Eisenberg gets to do modern day Zuck, where Zuck has that shirt that says, in gratis thou shall know thyself, or whatever, that big black embroidered shirts that he wears, and that gold necklace, and his hair is a little different now.
His hairdo. Seeing
him like that, Jesse Eisenberg morphing into modern day Zuck, that would blow everybody's minds. If those photos came out from set, oh my God. Wow. I hope Aaron Sorkin is writing his ass off right now.
Yeah, I'm just truly terrified at the idea of him directing because that has not gone well so far.
Sorkin. Yeah, isn't that sad? It's so sad to me that he's one of the writers. Like, I would say he's top 30 if you think of a writer, prolific writer, but he just doesn't have the skill to direct. It's always pure shit when he gets behind the camera. Oh my God. He directed that Ricardo movie, right? Oh my God. Oh my God. It's just pure shit. He just doesn't, unfortunately, he's probably has the hubris of Icarus, but it just doesn't translate to being a director. It's not his.
He can't
his
be at the
forte.
helm.
No. So team up with David Fincher. I don't know if David Fincher, not to talk about this for much longer, but I don't know if David Fincher wants to get back to the Facebook well. He's probably like, no,
Yeah.
thank you. I've got
Yeah.
Mindhunter season 3 coming out.
Ugh, I wish.
Yeah, well, there's rumors
Really?
there's whispers. Yeah, if he wants it. All right. Well, let's say goodbye to that news about Sorkin and that news about Ireland, that news about other stuff. And I gotta say, speaking of people going to a different country on a trip or to
Yes.
their house, like Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broderick, I saw news that Paige DeSorbo and
Oh,
Joe
yes.
DeOmilio were together on a trip to Capri.
I saw that.
Italy. And what were your thoughts when you saw that?
Do you think she's still with her family, or do you think she's split off from her family to meet him?
I don't know. I don't know. I should have looked more into it. All it made me think was, oh, okay, well, what we did see initially when there was hand holding at the Philadelphia Eagles game, I thought that might have been a little blip a little blip, and maybe they stopped dating or whatever, but now it seems like this is pretty consistent if they're on a trip to Italy, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's been a while now. People were really like conspiracy minded about it the first time, and I have to say at this point I don't really even care to dig up the timeline about how quickly she dated him after Craig or whatever. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly how I felt. I just like, yeah, I don't know if like we already talked about, I don't know how much this moves the needle for me at all. It just makes me think, okay, well, there's some consistent dating on Paige's end, and she must really like Joe, D'Amelio for this relationship to continue this long, 7 months or so.
Right.
So congrats to them. Anything else to say about that?
No, this is her first time not at the summer house, so she's doing it big. Did you see that Sarah Jessica Parker also said that she thought West Wilson was a huge breath of fresh air?
No, I didn't see that. Oh my God, no, I missed that clip. What did they say? What do you think about this guy West? And she said that's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, Andy was like, you said that you really liked West, and I don't know if you noticed from all of the other things that she was saying on Watch What Happens, she sort of like really thinks about what she's going to say. Like she's like, and then, he just has this quality, and she's like really thinking about it. And she's like, it felt like he was, dropped in from another place and didn't know where he was. And he was just brought something totally new.
Wow, was Andy getting pissed?
No, he loved it.
Really? Wow,
he loves her so much.
I know, but he normally doesn't like when guests sort of, him and ha like that and say, take too long to answer. But he probably gave a lot of grace to.
She's the golden goose.
Yeah, what a huge get for him. That's amazing. No, I didn't see that, but I'm glad that she thinks that Wes is a breath of, fresh air. That means she watches Summer House.
Apparently, I bet like Andy like made her watch a screener with him or something. And then Austin Kroll called in, and he was like, apparently he's a huge Sex and the City fan or / and Just Like That. And he said, me and Shep should be on it Just Like That.
Oh my God. Wow. Oh my God. I wish they were in some
I know.
capacity.
Ryan Serhant is, so it's not unprecedented.
Holy shit. Imagining what Michael Patrick King could come up with if he had Austin and Shep on the docket to give them a storyline. I couldn't even imagine what he would do with those two. That'd be amazing. Oh, good. Anything else notable about that SJP on Andy? Watch What Happens Live?
No. I saw that he had Amy Sedaris on the next night, and I was like, he's just like palling around this week.
Oh yeah. Oh, totally. Oh, absolutely. I was thinking, this is probably off topic a little bit too for 1 second, but I was thinking about, I wish that the Next Gen NYC cast members would go to the Hamptons and go party with Summer House right now. Get them ASAP over there.
Seriously. I mean, it would make total sense. Like, it wouldn't even be weird,
No. Could you imagine Georgia showing up and saying, hey, hello, everyone. I can't wait to party with you all. What's
she
your
should
name,
plan
Carl?
a party for them.
Oh my God, it would be so cool. I mean, that is how you get Next Gen NYC to really bump up into the stratosphere, is having that crossover that is so easy to make happen. So I hope, from our lips to Bravo executives' ears, I hope that happens. And then last news before we shove off, did you see this Real Housewives of London trailer?
Oh yeah, I did. Question, is that like, will we even be able to watch that?
Shit.
when it's on?
Oh, that's a great question. Shit.
Because it's on Hayu, which I'm sure that you could just subscribe to that, or would you have to have a VPN?
Oh shit.
You know?
I think that you're right. I don't ever have access to Hayu, and maybe we'll need to do some sort of Turtle Time VPN to get access to that. But yeah, if it's only exists on Hayu, that's going to be a huge hurdle for us to ever document it. I mean, I'll just say for me personally, when I was watching this trailer, I was like, I have no clue what's going on here at all. I don't know anyone except Dorinda, but oh my God, if you want London shit in a show, holy shit, this has almost the epitome of London ethos. It starts with this sort of scary, you know how those horror movies that to try to be really scary, they do children's, like, you know, it's like Ring Around the Rosie, and it's like, oh my God, that's children's song is scary now. And then this was like, London Bridge is falling down, falling down. I was like, wow, perfect. London.
Love it. It was kind of like, I feel like Salt Lake City uses that kind of humor a lot.
Totally. And then once it started rolling, I was like, I don't know who anybody is. I watched like 5 episodes of Ladies of London, but I don't know about this. But then they were just going in, and it immediately had amazing moments. You and I were texting about it. One of them said, you dress like a, what did you say? You dress like a mutton, but you're posing as a lamb. And I go, oh my God, only in England would you ever accuse someone of dressing like a mutton, but as a lamb in disguise.
Mutton chop.
Yeah, a mutton chop. And then they go, we're going to meet the king. It was like, King Charles is going to wait for us, or he's waiting for us, darling. And they go, and she goes, I'm going to ask him about Harry and Meghan. And then this British sort of stiff upper lip boyfriend, he goes, it says here, do not ask monarch about Harry and Meghan. And then they go, they have the best, you know, British sort of sense of humor or whatever about that in the car. So I loved that kind of stuff. I mean, I was just balled over.
And I was like, you're probably in trouble even for saying that it says that.
I know, totally. And then and then it ends with one of them starts screaming at another cast member, and they go, back to Paddington, back to Paddington, back to Paddington. And I was like, oh my God, that is probably so iconic if you're British.
Paddington Station, iconic.
Yeah. Anything else notable for you in that?
No, I mean, it looked fun. Like, I was like, I would easily watch this. And I loved the little Dorinda treat because, as we know, I mean, they should just, if they're not going to use Dorinda for anything, make her a fucking full-time London housewife and just have her live there for the show. Like, come on.
I think so too. It's easy. She famously loves London. I think we went twice with her on Roni. It would be easy to just have her living in London for the 3 or 4 months of filming. All she said was, she goes, I love this British I love this British sensibility you have, or something. And then that was kind of the end of the trailer.
It said in on Deadline that they started filming in March 2025, and they already have all that.
March 2025, and they already have, oh my God, holy shit. I was like, oh my God, what year is it now? And it's like, oh, that's not that long at all. They've already, oh my God, wow, maybe things are different in London. Yeah,
they have a, Law and Order.
And also maybe it's, maybe they're used to, like, I don't know, burning the candle at both ends, sort of like a Dickensian sort of, like when he was, I don't know if you've ever seen these Dickens sort of
Are we gonna go see the Eggers Christmas Carol opening night, like at midnight?
Absolutely. Oh my God, absolutely. And I didn't even think about that when I originally heard that news. I said, who cares? But now you saying it made me think of what he's gonna do with those Christmas ghosts.
They're gonna be disgusting.
I'm like, it's unfathomable to me now what he's gonna do with the Ghost of Christmas Future, which is the scariest one. Christmas Present is that's just a,
I can only see it in Muppet form.
Me too. Pass is the cutest one. It's a little angel. It's very sweet. Present is his friend who's dead. Well, how could I've seen this 100 times.
I love this is our drinking game. We always say it's Christmas Carol, Willy Wonka. There's others.
That's it. Wait. Seriously, I have to, before we end news, I have to know who is Christmas present in Muppets. It's that angel, that sweet angel that shows him his beautiful childhood before he was spurned
Yeah,
by
like the little
a
girl.
lover. Yeah, it's really sweet. The
And then who's the
present
big
is,
ass
yes,
guy?
Christmas present is the one who's showing him how much havoc he's wreaking on his day-to-day people in his life. That's the big, wonderful ghost of Christmas present. That's the big, huge
And then
guy.
is Marley and Marley just separate?
Marley and Marley, they are his two chained past business partners who are just guiding him through this experience. They're there as a warning, and they're the ones who tell him that the Christmas ghosts are coming. And in the future, don't get me started, that's the scariest one. That one is just faceless, formless. Eggers is going to go nuts. When that thing gets revealed, what he does with Christmas Future, I don't even know if we're going to be able to look at it for too long.
Yeah. I also wanted to, are you going to clear your calendar and get a sitter for Penny for Eddington?
Yes, I am. I've already been talking about this. I think that I have to see it, especially in theaters, and I'm working on my way to how I'm going to do that and get there, because I am an Ari Aster head.
Yeah.
Completely. I was one of the only people. Well, no, not the only people, but I thought I was like so blown away by Beau is Afraid. I was just like flipping out the entire time. So I definitely want to see Eddington. I wonder how I'll make that work. Hopefully, I really can.
I feel like if we talk about that movie, it will have to be paywalled because it's going to be spicy topics.
I think so too. Oh my God, Ari Aster's gonna be talking about like COVID, I heard, and that's actually my least favorite thing in the world, is talking about COVID and topical shit. Like, I hate when movies, for the most part, are topical, but hopefully Ari Aster, with that kind of twisted brain he's got, he could, I don't know, add some commentary that's interesting.
Called something else, like
the
E2 virus or something.
Yeah, he'll give it something. So he's so smart. He'll probably call it like big. He'll call it like flu, big sick
big bird flu.
Eddington flu. He's so creative. He'll come up with something called like wafting flu spread or something. So we'll see.
In 28 years, days, weeks, it's the rage. The virus.
Oh my God, very creative. That's very creative. Did Danny Boyle do that?
The first one and the third one, yeah.
First and the third. He didn't do the second.
The middle one is pure shit.
Oh my God, because Danny Boyle didn't have his hands on it. Wow. I have faith that Ari Aster will call it something other than COVID. I really can't think of it now. Let us know what you think Ari Aster is going to call COVID in Eddington. I think that would be really fun. If it's just COVID, yeah, very boring.
Too real.
I want it to be called I don't know. It's like, it's not coming to me. Spreading. What would do you have any idea?
I think it would be a code. Like, it would be like, like B7 B7-9 virus.
The B7-9 virus. Yeah. It's either going to be called the wafting delirium, or it's going to be called B79. Let us know where you fall on that. If anybody even knows or is thinking about Eddington and they've got Eddington fever like us.
Exactly. This is the last thing I'll say. I watched, for some reason, that M. Night Shyamalan movie, Knock at the Cabin, and there's like a warning that if they don't do what they're supposed to do, these like deadly like apocalypse things will happen in the movie, and one of them was a child-centric virus. But I don't think it had a cool name. I think it was just like virus overtakes blah blah blah, like on the news,
Oh, they could have called it
Kinder virus.
Kinder cough. I like what you said though first. Kinder virus, Kinder cough. Not
the deadly Kinder cough.
Kinder cough. I watched Knock at the Cabin too. I didn't think it was great, but I did like
the twist is insane.
Yeah, well, if I remember correctly, spoiler alert, because I got called out for spoiling the shit out of movies. 30 seconds forward, right now, please. Not get the cabin spoilers ahead. If I remember correctly, everything was true that they said, and I do like that when it's not metaphorical and it's not
Mhm.
like, haha, I got you to do what I said because you were so
Yeah.
fearful. It was like, oh God, the world ended, everything bad happened, they did the wrong thing. I kind of like, I love doubling down in horror
Right.
movies when it's all actually real.
But like, how much am I supposed to know about the four horsemen of the apocalypse that I give a shit that those people were them?
Oh yeah. First one was
It was like, yeah, I was like, I don't know what those horsemen are called.
pestilence, slime, bad news, and then death. I think the last rider was called Death. I forget. I didn't know. I actually, to be fully frank, skip forward 15 seconds. I didn't remember that it was the four horsemen of the apocalypse. I
That was
forgot
the
about that part.
twist.
Oh shit.
It's
Okay.
conquest, war,
Oh.
famine, death.
Oh man, I thought pestilence was
Well,
one. War,
conquest is parentheses pestilence / plague.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, wow. At least I got one of the horsemen of the apocalypse. All right. Well, Amy, you and I have done our duty diligently. 25 minutes. We talked about everything from Ireland to London to Eddington to Paddington to everything. So, actually, Amy, I have to ask you very rarely,
Yes.
I got so excited about talking about everything that I have to take a certified
Oh, wow.
turtle piss break, if you
It's
don't
been
mind.
84 years.
Oh my god, I need to take a certified turtle piss break. Everyone listening, let's all take a big piss together. I will be back. I will be right back, and it'll be so great. We're going to talk about, what the hell are we talking about? Valley and Next Gen NYC. So just a piss break. Thank you all very much for tolerating that from me. Amy and I are back. I feel much better personally. I don't know how you feel, Amy.
Fantastic.
I feel really good, and I think we should keep feeling in a good mood and talk about this week's episode of The Valley. Now, you'll have to remind me, what the hell were they calling this thing?
Making up is hard to do.
Oh, okay. That's because of Brittany and Jax, I think, right?
I guess so. Also, so this episode and for Next Gen that we'll talk about are both what is it? Penultimate.
Yes, two penultimates. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is penultimate. This is one of the rare turtle times in which we get to recap two penultimate episodes in a season. I love how that ended up working out. I mean, we didn't even plan that. So this is going to be called. This is going to be sort of penultimate oriented. So this episode of The Valley, I will say up front, I enjoyed it because I was kind of like tired when I was watching it. And I was kind of like looking with one eye closed, and I was like, I gotta watch this episode. And for a while, I was like, this is kind of slow paced for where we're at in the valley. And not that I need artificially enhanced entertainment with a bunch of fake conflict to bump up a season, but I was a little bit like, whoa, after Kristen screaming and like saying, I'm gonna throw you off this boat and I'm gonna attach an anchor to you, and like I'm gonna slap you, Janet, and you're a fan. So then immediately get to this sort of like idyllic like valley, like, oh my gosh, I'm playing with my daughter. Michelle's like playing with her daughter, and Jesse's going to the toy store and stuff. I was like, I don't know. I thought that had such to be continued energy, and like we were gonna get the end of that. You know what I mean? And so then for 30 minutes, we're kind of just zipping along, like almost like it's the start of the season again, which I guess just from a pacing place, I was just like, this doesn't make much sense as the ramp up penultimate to the finale. But then they kind of give us what we need at the very end, and that's this showdown between Jax and Brittany. So of course I enjoyed that scene. That was very compelling. But for the most part, as this episode was going through, I was just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
James May shoot. Okay. Ring tattoos.
Business
all right.
as usual.
Yeah.
So yeah, like also, so it's the first like order of business is that Jasmine is helping Nia and Danny look for a house, and I was like, she's a real estate agent. Did I know that? I
didn't know that. And me and Megan were also looked at each other and we started screaming. We said, Jasmine's a real estate agent? Like, when did it's 2 seasons and we didn't know that? I wonder if it's sort of like realtors, or it's sort of like you can do it like I don't. Can you like kind of like pick it up and just do it? And like if you have your license, like you can kind of
I
just
mean,
be
it's a
like,
classic housewives job.
yeah.
But yeah, and I also didn't know, I don't know if they told us before, but I saw online that she was a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. Did we know
Whoa.
that?
I didn't know that. I knew only that wasn't she a contestant on The Bachelor?
Yes.
Okay, so I knew that, but I just thought that, yeah, I didn't know this. So Jasmine was giving us a new layer to herself, but I don't think that this scene really made much sense. I have to say. So Jasmine is showing a house to Danny and Nia, and it just seemed like I think like this everything about this was just like not didn't wasn't needed
No, it
because
was fake as hell. They were never going to move into a house that's smaller than their condo.
and Nia's like, I didn't know. I mean, the photos made it look like it was way bigger, but then I found out it was 800 square feet less. And Jasmine's like, yeah, just take this house. I mean, I don't care. You put your stuff in the bathroom, knock down this wall. You can make it work. And it just seemed like, why are we here if no one agrees to this and no one thinks that this is a good idea? Why did we just spend 10 minutes or 8 minutes of this opening scene in this completely unnecessary, real estate showing? Um, yeah, and then nothing happens. I mean, Danny kind of just says like, "This is tiny. Oh my God." He goes, "Is this? I saw this house once. It was listed on the show Tiny Homes." And
Right.
everyone kind of has like, they laugh. They laugh a lot actually at that. It was kind
They
of
love it.
it was like a huge, huge joke. And then they go, "Hey, let's talk about She Who Must Not Be Named." And Jasmine goes, "Oh my God, you're giving her the Voldemort treatment." And they go, "Yes, She Who Must Not Be Named." And then I was kind of like, wow, this is the conversation you're having after SA was uttered last episode. And now you're with the person who could talk about this in a more in-depth way. And this is the conversation you're having, kind of just like beating around the bush and not really having a conversation. It just seemed like such a filler conversation to me.
Yeah. Yeah. And they were sort of going back and forth because in a different scene, we have Janet, Sheena, and Michelle, and they're talking about the Danny of it all. And this is where Janet says that she is in the preview. She says she doesn't want to be friends with Danny if he continues drinking, but part of it sounded 80 yard.
Oh my God, it really was. They show the back of their head, which is classic ADR, and she goes, "I don't really want to be around." And then they show her face, and I was like, "Oh wow, we're showing her face." And it goes, you go on YouTube, Danny while he's drinking, but her lips are not moving at all to say that. So what
Yeah.
the hell were they putting in Janet's mouth that she didn't say in that scene? Because remember, we said that seemed very out of place. Why would Janet say again about Danny that she doesn't want to be around his drinking? So I don't know what
Right.
happened there with that audio. It was really odd.
It was strange. We'll see again we watched it in advance, so maybe it'll be changed. But Sheena was also shitting on Kristen, saying that she latches onto the popular girl and doesn't care who she steps on along the way.
Yeah, I said to myself, huh? Like what? I would never think that about Kristen. I've never known that to be. And also, is Nia the popular girl?
Right.
I mean, is Nia the one that Kristen
Yeah, if anything, I
thinks?
think they're underdogs.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't really see Kristen as that at all. I don't think Sheena really hit the nail on the head with that commentary on Kristen's persona. I don't think. I mean, besides latching on to Stassi, I mean, Stassi is her best friend. She defended her for the life, for her entire life. But I don't see that about Kristen's character. I don't know really what she was talking about there.
Yeah, I'm like, good luck with that, Sheena. And then Danny said that he feels like he's lost Jason as a friend and that like Jason needs to tell Janet to wake up because she's ruining his life.
Yeah, they all kind of say like we feel so bad for Jason. We love Jason, but we don't love Janet. And he's kind of, everything that Janet does affects how much they love Jason because they truly want to love him. When you saw Sheena, a part of me was thinking, oh my God, she could do the coolest thing in the world right now and reveal to those people that Brock cheated on her while she was pregnant, and then it made the silence that she's had post dropping that excerpt make so much more sense if it was all part of a plan so that Valley got that exclusive and she had that first talk 1 week. Because remember when she coincided her preparation H with that her talking about whatever that stuff that she was talking about, and it completely coincided. I thought for a second that maybe Sheena revealed that excerpt in tandem with her opening up on the Valley about that, but that was not the case, right?
No,
not a whisper of that.
She barely said shit. She was on the show for like 2 seconds and they move on. And then, we get a sperm update also from Luke.
This was amazing. I asked Megan while we were watching, I go, did we already know what Luke's sperm was like? Because did we hear about it like 3 episodes ago or something? Because for me, I go, oh my God, new entrant into the sperm club, which is Tom Schwartz, Tom Sandoval, Kyle Cook, Craig Conover, because he froze his sperm. And then now we have Luke, and Luke gets one of the best diagnoses for sperm you can get. 13% abnormal. What's the rest? No, 87% purely normal or very, very, very functioning. And only, they say that if you have sperm where only 14% is abnormal, you're still in the clear, and Luke is 1 huge percentage point under that. So I think that he officially, if we're keeping score, this definitely makes Luke eligible for sperm evaluation club for per Turtle Times rules. Do you agree?
Yes, definitely. But yeah, so Kristen still needs to do more tests. He broaches the subject of if this doesn't work, would we do a surrogate? Would we do adoption? And she said she's not ruling anything out. And then they get a visitor. Jax Taylor comes with, I assume, the orchid that Schwartz gave him.
Oh my God. You think this is a re-gifting scenario?
Absolutely. No doubt in my mind.
Oh my God. I wish that I had the power of remembering things that happened a week ago or 2 weeks ago, because if I could just close my eyes and remember, Schwartz, did he bring that exact same plant to Jax when he said this means beauty and power or whatever he said about orchids?
Yeah, I didn't look it up, but I think so. And he says, I love your love sack couch. I have one too. He says, he congratulates them and says he's glad he didn't ruin it, meaning by texting the boys' chat. And he apologizes for that. And he's like, it was just Brittany was finally being nice to me for once. And, I forgot what was going on.
Yeah, and he also said he didn't want to throw her under a bridge, to blame her when they asked how he found out, because he was in such a good place with her. And then Kristen corrects her because it's another one of those malpropriisms or whatever that Jax does, because he said throw under the bridge instead of throw under the bus. But it's not really, it's kind of like Jax is just sort of like, I need to have scenes with people and I can't be at any group events. So who will deign to have a scene with me? That's why I don't know. He seems so isolated throughout this era of the season, just showing up and giving flowers. And he just reiterates that he hasn't seen his son in days. And then Luke gives him one of the best things of advice I've ever seen. I think Luke is kind of all like, he's got a lot of ego right now, or he thinks he's like hot shit because of his sperm evaluation. He goes, hey, tell Brittany this. Put a camera up in your son's room, and then Brittany can watch him as he sleeps and know that you're not doing anything weird around him. And Jax goes, Luke, you just hit the nail on the head, buddy. That's perfect advice. I'm going to go install a Ring camera in Cruz's room so she knows that nothing weird will ever happen in his room while I'm watching him. So Luke offered great advice that Jax doesn't take advice well. He's always like, famously, you're no angel. I don't take advice from anyone but God. But he liked what Luke said here.
Yeah. Basically, at every turn that he talks to someone throughout this episode, he goes, I haven't seen my son in days. It's just so hard with a baby involved. I miss my son. Like, he's being really, weird and, just kind of, I don't know, waxen. It's I don't know what's going on with him. I think he's trying to do everything right on camera. And when we get to the end of the episode, Brittany's like, why are you acting like that?
Yes. I agree with you. I think he is bringing a fatherly persona to set with him on the Valley, and so he's like, I'm just going to say these three things over and over again, and then by the time we get to that final scene, you're right. He says, I'm purposefully going to make you look like a screaming lunatic by being the most calm you've ever seen me, and then he even can't even hold on to that. Sometimes he starts screaming and saying all the horrible shit, and especially when we get that ring camera conversation. You hear Jax fly off the handle, like screaming like I've never heard in my life. Like if anybody screamed at me like that, I'd be like, oh my God, that was so horrible. And that's his day-to-day talking. He screams like that probably to Brittany all the time. Okay, so next up, James may shoot. Hell yeah. We get, oh my God, the new collection. I loved this stuff. One of them said, Grand Canyon, here we come. One of them said, don't drive behind me. I'm speeding. And one of them said, I forget, a bunch of, did you see some of these shirts? Sports. Lay off me. I haven't had my first cup of coffee yet. Just like amazing sort of, in my opinion, just really fun stuff. And Brittany's modeling these clothes. She said the last time she modeled was with Jax, and she goes, well, now I got the invite to just go solo modeling. And she's wearing an amazing shirt. I think it has a big VW bus on it that says grass, gas, or that or ass, nobody rides for free. And then they go, and then Brittany goes, Jax keeps calling me. He wants my ring verification code. And they made this kind of look a little scandalous in the edit, because it was like, hey, apparently somebody's sending me a code. I need that code. And we thought that Jax was trying to infiltrate her ring camera system again. But I think that he was doing that Luke thing, possibly. Do you think he was taking advice from Luke and then setting up cameras all in his house so that he could show off Cruz sleeping to Brittany? And then Brittany's like, no, I know your tricks. You're the ring camera guy and you want to just spy on me again. And then that's why he gets so pissed off. He goes, fuck. They're here now. I need that code. He starts screaming. I thought it was because there was a complete miscommunication in what he was doing with the ring camera setup. What did you think when you saw that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why he wouldn't just create a new account, because otherwise he would have. I assume, I don't have a ring cam. I don't know what the dashboard looks like. But I assume one. They kind of like freak me out. I actually don't want to know. Like, I don't want the information.
Yeah, no, I was just kidding. I don't. I don't want a ring camera, but no, I think I think what you're saying.
Yeah, so it's
right.
like if he was using the same account again, then he would have access to all of her shit. So I don't know why he didn't just start fresh, where it says log in or sign up, just start over.
Yeah, and I think it's quite possible that he was trying to get away with both. I think he still wanted access to her system and then was also said, I'm installing ring cameras here and I am creating a separate system to do what Luke told me to do, without maybe even broaching that with Brittany. So Brittany's just like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm triggered by your ring talk, so you talking about rings. God, this season has been so focused on rings.
I know, Dan. They should be a sponsor. I bet I have a feeling he's very bad at technological stuff. So probably he put in his email and it was like, an account already exists with this email, and he was like, ah!
Oh my God, could you imagine Jax's tech tips? I would love to show Jax different technology and stuff and see how he responds to it. Yeah, he strikes me as someone who's not so adept at technology. I mean, even the Frank Drebin stuff, he could barely keep that under control. Remember, it was starting to filter off and he was commenting like Frank Drebin to like Jason, getting an award at work. He was like... Yeah.
Also, calling to ask for the code is like Scammer 101, where they're like, it could have been a scammer with a voice box that was being Jax that was like, send me the code.
Yeah. No, it could have totally been. I was just thinking of my own scamming history. I try to scam the scammers. Have I ever told you that? I get them to the point where they so here's the last one I did. They go, we have this Disney job for you. Bob Iger said he wants you as soon as possible to start on Monday. We'll give you
direct from the top.
We'll give you $750 a day to start. Do you mind just calling me back? And so I'll call the number and they'll go, we just need your social security card number to get your process. And then I kind of play dumb on the phone, and I'll say like, hey, I got this amazing job offer from Bob Iger, like $750 a day. I can't wait to do it, but someone asked me my social security number or whatever. And I'll just keep going along. And eventually, if you play dumb enough, they're smart enough to know that they know that you're playing dumb, and they'll just hang up on you. Like they'll just completely quit. It's if you have time on your hands.
I saw a tweet that was like, the economy is so bad that the scammers are offering you an interview.
Oh
like
my
it's
God.
not even like a job, it's like an opportunity to interview. And people are like, okay, please.
That is so awesome. Yeah, I haven't actually received one of those scam business opportunities for about 3 weeks. So I think something got shut down, some network.
Did you see the movie Thelma with June Squibb?
Thelma with June Squibb. No, I love June Squibb. I'm kind of a Squibb head, but I haven't seen Thelma.
It's really cute. It looks like it's on Hulu. It's sort of the joke in it is that it's a take on Mission Impossible, but it's an old woman who got scammed on the phone, trying to like find the scammers because they took her money. It's like the thing where they call pretending to be her grandson, saying that they're in trouble.
Oh my God.
And she wires them money.
And then she gets revenge, or
Yes.
just tries to. Oh my God! I'm about to have a Squibb night. That is amazing. There was this amazing This American Life when I used to listen to that regularly, like probably 15 years ago, where someone did a full blown huge prank on the scammers and made this scammer go like around the world for money. It was one of the craziest things I've ever heard in my life. But anyway, enough about that. Then at the end of this, this isn't a scam, but at the end of it, Brittany she's wrapped. And then Kristen goes, hey, guess what? Janet completely sucks. I think she's a miserable, hateful person. I hate her so much. And Brittany's just nodding, because she's like, she secretly loves Janet so much. And then they go, hey, by the way, that essay shit was so horrible. Zach goes, I concur. That was awful. What a hateful human being. I don't want her in my life at all. And then Brittany is complete mediator the entire time. She goes, I thought it was great that Danny apologized and he, thought about what he did and stuff like that. And then that's just like the end of the conversation, because Brittany will not say anything bad about Janet and will not enter that kind of those derogatory comments about her.
Exactly. And then we'll get to it later, but there's like a whole, I feel like production or like the producers decided that, I don't know if they did it, we'll talk about it when we get to it, but like, I don't know if they preemptively thought that Janet was going to get a lot of backlash, but they like put in a sympathy edit for her.
I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait to talk about that. Okay. Jesse shows up to Jax's house, and this is the third time we get, but I was seeing places of this new condo that I'd never seen before. Can we just say that at least? Big 3 stories, gym or something. There's like a big, what are those called when you can run on a track?
Treadmill?
Treadmill. And he goes, you want to see this place? And Jesse goes, yes, please. I would love to see this thing. And then he shows him like the toilet, the bathroom, and then they go up and he goes, look at this. And this is when I was like, well, say what you will about the condo, but that patio looked fucking awesome.
I like that Jesse had to sit on the table to get shade because Jax stole the shady couch, and Jesse's not playing with sun damage.
Oh, really? I didn't even notice that. Wow, Jax took the best seats in the house.
Yeah, because I'm always like looking for the shady spot. So I was like, where's he going to sit? And he sits on the table.
Oh, I never even think about that. I sit in the biggest, sunniest spot and don't even think about it.
I'm like so paranoid about skin cancer. I can't tell you.
Oh my God. I gotta start worrying right now. I don't know what I've been doing. My eyes and stuff. Oh my God. I got
like a savage chest sunburn on 4th of July, and I felt such deep shame about it ever since. I'm like, I'm a fucking idiot.
Oh my God. I am so sorry. Did you put aloe vera on it?
Oh, you know it.
Oh my God. If one thing gets to sunburn, use aloe vera. Then Jax goes, God, I'm struggling here with Cruz. Have you heard this stuff? She's running the show over here, Brittany, and I'm just holding on for dear life for these twists and turns, but the mother runs the show over here. And he goes, I want to get so fucking drunk. He goes, I got a devil on my shoulder that's telling me drink. Drink, Jax, drink.
Go to your bar.
Go to your bar in which it's named after you and you're supposed to go there, but drink a lot while you're there. And then Jesse goes, that's the thing that everyone thinks you're going to do. Why don't you show them that you can do the exact opposite? Because everyone, doesn't think that you'll be, mature and handle this well and be responsible. So that's what you should do. And also getting drunk and partying is not going to make you feel better. And he goes, I know that, from experience or something to that effect. And Jax goes, okay, I won't get drunk. I'm just really bummed out about my son.
Right. And then I think they fight about it in their big fight later, Brittany and Jax, but she accuses him of partying at the bar. And he says something along the lines of like, I didn't go to rehab for drinking. Like, that's not my problem. I'm allowed to drink. And I'm like, what?
Well, so originally, then we're going to have to get back into this timeline, but originally he thought he was going for bipolar, screaming and tantrums and rage. And the first time he was all about getting to the bottom of his rage. And then they, I think, diagnosed him with bipolar disorder, or he already had previously been diagnosed with that, but he didn't take his medicine. Now he's got depression on top of it. And then it wasn't until the second stint that he needed to admit what Brittany already admitted for him, which is that he abuses cocaine, and drinking goes in tandem with cocaine use. So the first time he can probably get away with saying it wasn't about alcohol. The second time, no. And that's why he's continued to be sober for however long he's been sober.
We're probably not, if next week is the finale, then his second rehab stint probably doesn't make the cut then.
No, maybe they'll give it the end credits. Jax entered rehab shortly after this fight with Nia or something. I don't know how they'll handle it, but I noticed that too. That he said my problem was not drinking. It's kind of it's exactly what someone who was doing a monkey's paw scenario on someone would do. You get to open a bar and it's going to have your name on it. We've talked about this before. And then it's going to set you spiraling, and then it's going to be the one place that you shouldn't go because it's kind of the embodiment of everything that you're doing wrong. You want to drink there, you want to party there, but you also want to show up there because it's a bar named after you and you want to give it life by showing that you appear there. It's kind of just, it ends up being sort of a detriment to Jax's overall mental health, unfortunately, which is kind of what people were saying at the time when he created this bar, but now it truly has become that for Jax.
Schwartz warned him very clearly.
Yeah.
And then we get they are talking about Jesse and Michelle's divorce. He says that Michelle may have filed the wrong documents, so they might have to start all over. He said Ukraine and Russia have a better relationship than me and Michelle. And then it goes back to the girls talking, and Michelle says that Jesse got a $300,000 loan that since they're still married, she's on the hook for, but she's refusing to pay, which I'm like, is she expected to pay if he's the one that got the loan, or if maybe it's about property that they own together? I'm confused about. That's a stick in the works, I guess.
Yeah. Do they not filing divorce paperwork? Like, I can't even I barely can file my registration for my car. Like, I assume sorry, good to remind you. But this is not something that should be filled out by just you alone sitting there, like we saw from Jax when he filed everything wrong. It's much too complicated, and all of this stuff, I'm sure, if they had lawyers, would be discussed properly and handled well. So I don't know how these problems are coming up, especially at this point.
They could get Jason's advice. I was watching the Atlanta reunion, and they kept asking Phaedra legal questions throughout. Like, they would be like, okay, so if something is if you get a restraining order and you need cause, what does that mean? And she'd be like, cause can be any, like, I was like, wow. I love having a lawyer on the dais.
That's so cool. I do. I was gonna say I really want a lawyer friend, and I was like, God, do I have a lawyer friend? And I'm forgetting them, but no, I don't. I would love a lawyer friend.
Yeah, lawyer, doctor, you want those people in your corner.
Oh, I've got a doctor in my life.
Hell yeah.
if you ever need to talk
Wink,
to a
wink.
doctor, if you ever need to talk to a doctor, let me know. So this is just Jesse and Michelle stuff. We've sort of, I don't know, we've moved away from it. It's very potent, and I know that there's a lot of, well, I don't know, we haven't really moved away from it, but we've sort of moved away from, I guess, talking about the intricacies of their divorce, and it's more about how they navigate Aaron and Isabella and stuff. But then Jack says, this sucks so bad.
He goes, you know what? This is like, it's like death.
Yeah. He goes, I think I'm going to blow your mind here with this comparison, but up amongst death is how I feel what divorce is like. And it's like, I think you heard that once, and then you just say it, over and over again. Okay, you and I are going to skip. Unfortunately, I loved the scene with Nia and Danny, but you and I have a time crunch. And
I was like, I know they're not going to get another treatment again, but it was a mommy makeover consultation, and the doctor was like, yep, you do need that if that's what you want. And she got upset.
Yeah, he goes, it looks to be the case that, I could do these things that you need if you would
so choose.
If you so choose, yes, there are things we can do. What I do appreciate is that, in a way, Nia is not being very open about Danny's escapades, but she is like, hey, I've got a chapter in my book of my story to tell. And one of them is that I have these divergent needs, and one is to either continue my family, or one is to get my body back to where it was, because I had so much pride in my body pre-children, and so I'm either going to choose one of these routes. We already know where this ends up leading, but It was kind of, at least for people who say you're not vulnerable or you're not open, this is probably something that really strikes a chord with a lot of people. And so I was proud of Nia for being open, although maybe it's not necessarily what we find to be the most compelling thing to be open about on a show like The Valley. But either way, when people say you've never shown anything about your life, she could be like, well, yes, I did. I talked about my struggles with, I can't even look at myself in the mirror. And meanwhile, I've got this Greek god over here, Danny Bucco, who looks like a Greek god. So you know what I mean? It's like, she's offering something to us.
Yeah. No, it's just like her stuff is always like sad. Like last year it was postpartum. This year it's like hating her body post baby, struggling because they can't afford a big enough house where they want to live. Like it's always just kind of like a bummer.
Yeah.
Which is like real, but I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, I guess you're right about that. I mean, there's a reason why we're just skipping over it. I mean,
yeah, I mean, it's like, I am sorry, but I need more juice.
Yeah, right. But yeah, philosophically, I understand this, and it's a struggle that a lot of people have. Everyone has this. It's a huge thing. It taps into a certain thing a lot of people are struggling with. But unfortunately, it's probably not the waters that you and I want to wade in for too long right now. But waters that I do want to wade in is Janet and Jason going to get tattoos of lines on their finger.
Screamed. I was like, I know she did not go this far to double down on this dumbass rumor.
I mean, there's making a meal out of something, and there is what Janet and Jason are doing with this ring rumor. First of all, way to show that this didn't mean anything to you. So far, you've talked about it for 8 episodes, and now you've gotten to the point where you joke about it so much that you want to put a tattoo of your ring so that if it ever for some reason falls off, everyone will know you're married to each other. I could not believe that Jason agreed to this. Janet said she was joking when she made this what is this spurned this decision, made this proposition, but it doesn't seem very funny at all. No. It seems like you're sort of worried, and those, no offense, but these rumors did really affect you, and it triggered something deep within you about sort of your insecurity with Jason and your marriage. And like, damn, I mean, that rumor really affected you to the point where you're now at a tattoo shop getting these tattoos.
Right. Yeah, he's never gotten a tattoo. It's her 4th tattoo. He seems like very freaked out, like it hurts really bad. She says she's never seen him or heard him say the F word, which is insane.
Can I say an exclusive?
Please.
When he was in the Valley van, he said the F word 7 times.
Wow. So she's lying.
Yes. He goes, I'm going to feel like a little bit of a bad boy with this thing. He goes, I've never had a tattoo before, and I kind of feel like one of those like sort of bad boys that you hear about.
It was like the lamest. Like I don't know if you could even call that a tattoo. What they got. It's so small. It's like I feel like they could have done it themselves. Like it's the thinnest line you could possibly imagine. Like I was like, at least get like I feel like usually people get like remember didn't Tamra and her husband get them? I think it was like an initial,
I
like
think
an old
so.
English initial or something. And
Yeah.
I'm like, or at least get like a band that like has some design to it. It's literally just the size of the tattoo needle around their finger, and hers is white, so you like can't even see it.
Yeah. I would have gotten a tattoo that said the words, stop looking, I'm taken.
Yeah.
Yeah, hers, I couldn't even see it when she started giving us a glimpse of that ring finger. And also, like, I'm not 100% sure if it's such a deterrent. If Jason's at the bar and he's getting loaded on vodka sodas and he wants to cheat with all of his might, is anybody who's sitting next to him saying, Jason, I want to cheat with you really bad. Wait, what the hell is that little mark on
He's
your
like,
finger?
oh, this whole thing, that's my ex, like regrets, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. So all of this just didn't make sense to me. And it really kind of just made me feel sad for Janet even more. And then when, sad, and maybe some people will be mad. I don't know if you'll be mad, but some people were sad. And then she goes, guess what? She goes, Kristen, all of these comments that come in are so horrible about me, and they've been about how Jason can do so much better. What's wrong with Jason if he chooses Janet to be his wife? And horrible stuff like that. And she goes, and Kristen feeds in those comments and eats them and spews them back out on the show. That's what she lives in. And then they show a little sample of these horrible comments that Janet get. And these are season one comments.
Yeah.
Wait until they show him in season 3 what season 2 was saying to Janet.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, they do basically a like slow your roll audience. She's struggling with the backlash moment. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. I'm just like, I promise you everyone on the show is getting like I think she's the standout villain that people hate the most, but I think if you read anybody's comments, they're gonna be gnarly.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, geez. Yeah, I mean, you and I have seen some doozies just in our little world of turtle time. Oh my God, don't get me started on the stuff that you and I have gotten. But, but I'm of two minds. I agree, of course, that you were going to see comments, but I just think let's keep them in check. Let's keep them in the realm. I mean, like, I guess if you see Janet is unlikable, you and I deal with comments like that. Amy and Riley suck. What was that guy talking about? He spoils movies all the time. He's
Yeah.
so shitty. But I go, oh my God, that hurt me so much. I'm never going to stop thinking about that. But at least it's not bordering on, what we were talking about a couple weeks ago, veering into, I hope harm comes to you. That's where we
Yeah.
really got to keep these things in check. How about if you want to send a mean comment, make it PG or G and make it a 2 out of 10 on the mean scale. That's about the limit. You and I have received some 7 out of 10s, 8 out of 10s. I haven't seen any, I hope you both die. But I'm just saying, let's keep these in check a little bit. But then when you think, when those comments are enshrouding Janet's face, it does make it a little bit, me a little bit sad. And Jason goes, guess what? That person who said that horrible thing to you, imagine how fucking bad their day was that made them. And then that's what you and I, sometimes say to each other when we see these horrible, mean comments,
Yeah, I'm just like, their life sucks.
No, I mean, this, I just couldn't believe that this scene was so, of the moment, because this is
I
what she's
know.
dealing with right now. And this was
Yeah,
from
they
9
they
months
really
ago
went
or a
out
year
of their way. Also, I just have to say I was very distracted because I got a text from an unknown number that said the following. I don't know who
ago.
this is.
Oh, God.
I'm making steamed sea bass at home today. Would you like to come over and try it?
Oh,
Is it
my.
Chef Joe?
Holy shit. Oh my god, you're right. Holy shit. Did we give Chef Joe our number the last time we went to Sir and said, hey, if you're ever cooking up something good in the kitchen, we want a sneak peek before it goes on the
If it said
specials menu?
Chilean, I'd really be freaked out.
Hey, I'm cooking up some Chilean sea bass with onions on it. Do you want to come over and get a taste? No, seriously, I get stuff like that, not cooking, but I got one just 3 days ago. It said a jewelry conference is taking me to Philadelphia next month. If you're still in the area, want to grab a cup of coffee?
Kyle Chan?
Yeah, and then another one said I'm really busy. Sometimes I don't even have meals. And I go, that was just out of nowhere. So I think people are just prompting stupid conversations to get lonely
Creative.
people to write them back. And then they'll go, hey, do you want a photo of me? And then when do you want to send me your social security? It's like a new sort of like mid conversation starter to try to
Yeah.
lure people in. It's a crazy new tactic. I mean,
Wow. I mean, I was drawn in. Okay, yeah. Another skipper is Kristen and Nia. I'm sorry. It's just them talking about trying to get pregnant and that she wants a mommy makeover. I'm like, I'm okay. Like, we've covered this ground.
I think
sorry.
because also we just had the Nia scene,
Yeah,
so
I
it's
don't
like,
know. It's like, and I feel like they keep wedging them together just because of their like fertility journeys, and it's never that interesting.
yes, I agree with you. I was like, what's going on here when that scene?
No offense.
No offense to them, of course. I love them both. Okay, now they were saving it for the end. The Valley said, "Hey, if you think this is boring, don't worry. We got a head-to-head with Jax and Brittany coming up, and it's true. Jax put on his best. Well, first of all, Cruz just got done with a nap, and he gets to go to Sky Zone with Zuli coming up very soon. But he's going to get to see Jax for about 5 or 6 minutes before he goes to Sky Zone. Is Sky Zone where you bounce your ass off on all those trampolines?"
Yeah. I think they should give Zuli a confessional.
I think so too. She'd be like, I just wish they both could work it out.
I would love it. I would scream if they. It's like, remember, you didn't watch Flipping Out, but Zoila was the iconic housekeeper that was so funny, and she's one of the most iconic Bravo characters in history. So I'm like, like let's get some new action in.
Totally. I would love to see what Zuli says. Jack's dressed in business casual, which I've never seen before. It was like he should have put on like glasses and a pen behind his ear and put a little pocket Bible in his the pocket of his shirt or something, because it was very clearly to craft sort of a well-meaning persona or whatever he was trying to pull off here. And he goes, "Let us now." He goes, but then he starts to get ticked off. He goes, "What the hell?" He goes, "You're taking down every photo of me." And then I saw this. I couldn't believe it. They took down the thing that said Jax and Brittany forever. It was a big gold gong that they had in the corner that you could bang every time you wanted to celebrate their love. And they replaced it with a gong that said Cruz and Brittany on it. Like, that must have been like very quickly crafted to get Jax out of the picture. And then everything else you saw, his face is scratched out, one of them is down. It's like, it's very eerie. And he goes, "Does this make you feel better?" And she goes, "Yeah, I don't want to see your she goes, I don't want to see your face every day of my life anymore." You know,
Yeah, like, why wouldn't I?
I can summarize the whole fight dynamic here. Jax thinks he's arguing about 1/100th of a fight as he talks about Cruz and boundaries and custody. And Brittany is talking about the entire scale of everything, the horror that Jax has wrought on their family over the last 10 years. And so when Jax is like, "What the hell are you talking about? Why are you so mad?" All that kind of stuff is because Brittany is letting out her true feelings about everything. And she is so hurt and pissed off that everything she's saying is a 10 out of 10 because that's how she feels about Jax in this moment. And Jax is trying to get away with just being like, "Why aren't we only talking about this one little corner of the fight?" Which there really is a difference in the scale of what this fight is between them, in my mind.
Right. Yeah. First of all, she accuses him of being on Xanax because he's not acting himself. And he was like, "What do you mean? Like, I haven't taken anything."
Yeah, he didn't seem that like I kind of know Jax just from watching. I don't know him at all, but like he just seemed like he was like, "I'm adopting a calm persona." I didn't think he was zanned out. Did you?
Not zanned out, but he definitely like was like doing an act. She also used her whenever jargon, she goes, "It's not slander whenever I'm speaking facts."
Wait, oh my God, so many people championed you saying that and said that they always note that as well. It's not slander whenever I'm speaking facts. Doesn't that make sense?
That one works, but it's like she uses it like regardless of the like she'll be like, "We were fighting whenever we got engaged." And it's like, you got
Yeah,
engaged once.
right.
It's
So she
not
says
whenever you got engaged, it's when you got engaged.
she says whenever for when.
Yes, like she'll be like, "Whenever I was pregnant," like, like, "I was so sick whenever I was pregnant." And you're like,
Oh.
"You were only pregnant once."
It's so hard to kick those habits with speech. Like if we told her this next time we saw her, like you need to drop the ever off your whenever. It is so hard to do it. Like on Next
Yeah.
Gen NYC when Ariana can't get fluoridation or she's always saying like the wrong word and like you just
Fruition.
oh
She says fluition.
fluition. Yeah, it's so hard to stop saying one of those things that you said for the rest of your life. But yeah,
I got a comment that someone just read that book. Is it called Demon Copperhead? Like that.
Oh. Yeah, Barbara Kingsolver, I think. Yeah.
That apparently it's like an Appalachian turn of phrase to use whenever willy-nilly. So we got a little lesson there.
That's amazing. Wow, I've always wanted to read that book. It's supposed to be sort of Dickensian.
Right.
I think it could be,
it's won prizes I've seen.
It's me too. It won, I think, some of those major literary prizes, and I've heard it's sort of a take on one of those Dickensian novels by Dickens. I think Oliver Twist, David Copperhead,
David Field.
I think it's a Appalachian spin on David Copperfield by Dickens. He goes, okay, then Brittany goes, they give this flash of rage, like Brittany's turning off the lights with her rage. And they go, "Why have you been defending Jax for so long?" And she goes, "Because I felt like," what does she say to defend him? I felt like I had to, and we were married at the time, but now I don't trust this man for the life of me. He's hurt me too many times. So now basically the gloves are off and I don't care what I say about him. And then they show flashes of the coke conversation and drinking and accusing him of the nasty women that he sleeps with, because Brittany's got her ire up here about Jax.
Yeah. She's like, "Cruz is not coming to your house anytime soon. I don't know if there's nasty girls up in that house." She's like, "You were partying 5 days out of rehab." And he's like, "No, I wasn't." She was like, "I heard that you were making it look like you were drinking water when you were drinking vodka." And he was like, "Well, I don't have a problem with drinking, so I can drink. I love drinking." And she's like, "You're just so gross. Like, you are nasty. You disgust me."
She is really upset. She's really upset about the Jax, like who he's seeing and sleeping with, and she's really affected by that. Kind of triggers her at 10 out of 10 when she says that you're discussing everything. It's because of what she's seen about him, like dating those people that were like coming to the house and stuff that he was going to Hooters with and stuff. She's really repulsed by that and doesn't want any of that rubbing off anywhere near, her son. That kind of kicks it up a notch. And then he keeps saying throughout this entire conversation, it's so easy for you to throw this all away, wipe away 10 years, do all this shit. And she goes, this is where he's being a complete dunce. It's obviously not easy for Brittany. She's affected by this 10 times more than you. She's reeling from everything that you've done, how much you've hurt her. She was trying to make this relationship work for years, despite all of the horrible shit you did to her. So it's laughable and ridiculous for him to say, you are trying to get over this. She's crying actively because she is so hurt that she can't make this work. And when he even says, do you not want, can we just sidestep this divorce? Do you really still want that? You can almost see that there's a part of her that it's like, I wish to God we could. I wish we could have done that, but you ruined our family and now it's too late. You didn't do any of these things that I asked you to do for years and now it's too late. But you could tell that she is so much more hurt by all of this than Jax is, even though he's the one saying that awful sort of, downplaying her reaction to everything.
Yeah, she's like, you could have gone on your bipolar meds years ago. You've already ruined our family. You're a narcissist. You don't feel love or hurt or pain like I do. So obviously it's harder for me. She says that he's acting in this moment completely different than how he's been texting her, which is like completely out of pocket the way that he communicates with her.
And we saw that scream that he let loose about a ring camera,
Exactly. And then they get into like the nitty gritty of the child support / custody, and it gets dirty fast. And like she's saying all she wants from him is to split Cruz's medical bills. And Jax is like, well, if I'm paying for that, then I get like partial custody. And she's like, no, I get full custody and you have to pay me. And he's like, why would I ever do that? And she's like, that's how fucking child support works, bitch.
Yeah, no, totally. And he goes, well, you make more money than me, and it's a 50-50 state, so I shouldn't have to do that. But it sounds like he doesn't really have all of his facts in order. I mean, we saw him reading the divorce filing papers, and he had no fucking clue what anything meant. So I don't know why he feels like he's on his high horse, like telling her what's going on here.
They have to get on that, like, My Happy Family Judge app ASAP.
Totally. She goes, I'm so disgusted with you. And then he's kind of like, look at how you talk to me in this house of which it used to be our home. Look at how you say these things of me. Like
he goes, the yelling and the arguing has to stop.
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
that's gaslighting.
Yeah, totally.
That's like the true definition.
Yeah, and this is for me the first time I'm hearing Brittany even level these accusations at Jax, calling him a narcissist right to his face. I was like, I am so proud of you for saying that Jax doesn't feel pain like you do, and it's true. Yeah. You're crying. She's feeling all of this in the moment, and Jax feels like he's trying to get a scene done to show the audience that he looks manageable and calm or something, that he's like the perfect ex-husband. So Brittany's crying throughout this whole thing. She's getting more and more upset. And then I kind of, it kind of fizzles out with him. He keeps saying, you can so clearly just wash away these 10 years. And she goes, clearly I can't because I'm still upset. And she's just sitting there crying in the kitchen. And, you feel for her going through this.
Yes. Next week, season finale. Apparently they hand over the reins to Michelle, who hosts a Zen party, and Zach and Brittany get into an argument there. So that's the main thing to look forward to, I guess.
I was a little upset about that. Just because I think it's going to be Zach bringing back his fight with Brittany about how she doesn't spend enough time with him, which he started saying for the first like 3 or 4 episodes, and then other stuff happened, so he stopped saying it. And I'm a little worried that he's going to have that finale energy where you just try to make a storyline locked in. And so I'm a little worried about that. But maybe it'll be about how like she took Janet's side over the SA thing, and that'll make it more valid.
Crazy is it that Kristen just wasn't pregnant this season?
Oh, I think she got. I know. I'm. We've already said this. I think she gets pregnant like 1 month after this or something. But yeah, no, it's shocking. I mean, and then she's gonna.
They're
be
just gonna miss it.
Yeah,
she'll just have a baby on the next season.
Well, we get a little glimpse of it at the reunion. She'll be pregnant.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, not this season. Okay, so I think that covers it. I hope that the Valley can end strong. I think you and I are united in the belief that we had some very strong episodes. We had a lot of filler here. We had some storylines that we wish would have died on the vine after about a minute, but they kind of lasted for a really long time. So I hope the Valley can really knock it out of the park for this finale. We'll see.
Yeah, I have enjoyed it though. Also, I wanted to say if anyone follows me on Instagram, which I think only like 5 of you do, but I posted Jesse Lawley was on, for some reason, he was on KTLA, like morning news. And he brought up Sam Rubin, who's like an icon of Channel 5 KTLA news my whole life, who died tragically, like, I think a year ago. And Jesse Lawley gave him a shout out and it was like, on this anniversary of his death, I just wanted to like shout out and like say like, I'm so sorry to you guys, his friends. And I was like, I'm sorry, but I love that.
Oh my gosh, yeah,
I
that
was
was so
like,
sweet.
lolly hive.
That is so sweet. You sent me that too, and I didn't know who Sam Rubin was. That's on me. But I did think it was a very sweet dedication from the clip I watched. It was very like eloquent and sweet, and I was proud of him, even though I didn't know who he was honoring. So
Yeah, I have to say, like morning or just news people are like a different kind of celebrity. One time for work, I had to go to, it was the SAG Awards nomination announcement, like where they read the
mhm.
nominees. And for some reason, they do it at 5 a.m., I guess, just so that it can like go out
Yeah.
internationally. And Sam Rubin was there, just like covering it. Like it was very casual. And I was like so starstruck. Like I was like, literally, there's so many like actual celebrities here, and I was like, I don't give a shit, but I was like, Sam fucking Rubin.
Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah. Well, everyone has their own like classification of celebrity, or stars in their mind. Like there's people that I would like cry over that people might not give a shit about. So that's so beautiful. I'm glad you got to see Sam Rubin
Mhm.
at that event.
Me too.
News, you sent me, speaking of news people some people love, you sent me an amazing photo of Wolf Blitzer that just came to my mind, but I forget what he was doing. He had just seen like Final Destination Bloodlines or something, and he said like, this movie scared me. So what? Do you remember what it
Yeah, what
was?
was it? I
He
mean,
goes, he goes, I just saw Final Destination Bloodlines, and I can't stop shaking.
no,
Congrats
you
to
said, good to hang out with my journalistic colleague, Clark Kent, who writes for, quote, Daily Planet,
Oh, he had just seen Superman. Oh my God. Oh, that is so. Oh my God. And he called him Clark Kent.
in
Wow.
which he doxed Clark Kent because it's a picture of Superman, not Clark Kent.
Oh, so oh wow, talk about breaking journalistic ethics.
Seriously.
Oh my God, that's well
By the way,
horrible.
I enjoyed that movie.
Oh, I forgot you saw it. It was
I
good.
thought it was cute.
Oh my God, what?
The dog. Apparently, Superman has a dog. I don't know if you knew that. Crypto, and the dog plays a huge role, which of course I love.
Crypto. Wow, don't let Aaron Sorkin see that movie. He'll be like, I want to write a movie about crypto. That's amazing. I'm so glad you liked it. I have enjoyed most of James Gunn's forays into superhero films. And so I am excited to see it. It's on him to reboot the entire DC franchise. Did you know that?
I know. Yeah, well, I won't spoil it. There's like a tease to a future thing, but my parents saw it because they my sister worked on Miss Maisel, and Miss Maisel herself is
Mm.
plays Lois Lane, and they were like, Miss Maisel can fly. Like, we're gonna go see it. And they enjoyed it too.
Oh, that's awesome. Wow. Oh my God, I have this list. Centers, Phoenician Scheme. What's that one you just said? Superman,
Yeah.
Eddington. Oh my God, someday I am going to sit back for a full weekend and just watch every film that I've missed. I'm writing a list of all this stuff, and Superman is definitely now. Oh, Thunderbolts! I got to see this new Avengers shit.
Uh, I'm
Oh,
out.
did you already see it?
No, I don't do the MCU is dead to
I
me.
know. I don't like MCU either. It's pure shit. But I just have to see how they become those new Avengers, like we were talking about 4 months ago. Anyway, all right. Enough of that. Let's you and I, with about 20 minutes, let's hold ourselves to this 20 minutes,
Yes.
talk about this week's episode of Next Gen NYC, which is fucking awesome. So fun. I don't remember what the hell this thing was called. If you told me a title, I would say, I don't know what it's called at all. Jersey Shore fun, post casino life, bad
Yeah.
dinner, privileged youth. I don't know what they
Yes.
called this thing, but it is the aftermath of the casino night on Next Gen NYC. It's this week's episode of Next Gen NYC. You
Yeah.
and I have raced through the first 6 episodes. You and I have talked about it. We
Yeah.
love it, and now we are in Next Gen NYC world, watching it in the moment. And I loved this episode just as much as I love every single episode of Next Gen NYC.
know.
It was just.
It's over too soon. I want there to be more. I mean, last week they fully had a visit from Kim Zolciak, which I didn't know that I needed in my life, but I did.
Oh, it was so fun.
She's so nuts.
Oh my God, I loved her getting there and her seeing New York City, and they went to that bar and got wine. I loved it just Kim Zolciak to me is just so inherently entertaining, kind of like Bethany Frankel, where like
Yeah.
you could just put them in a room by themselves, and I swear I could watch probably 45 minutes of whatever they were doing for 1 hour, and it would be entertaining. So I loved that. And then this episode, there's just so much good stuff in the midst of conflict, and the conflict is something that we're used to. On Housewives franchises, it's all conflict. It's like what are we gonna take and lift up to conflict that can sustain us for 3 episodes? When will we resolve it? What's going to be the next big conflict? When will we resolve it? And there's just so much fun stuff going on Next Gen NYC that is not conflict oriented, that then when like Amira brings up the Ozempic comment, I was like, oh my God, hell yeah, that is so funny. And it was perfectly, it felt the right time to talk about that and deliver perfectly, but I also don't need those moments of just starving for conflict in a way. You know what I mean? Because losing the phone stuff was so funny. The speaker stuff was great. Just them doing the obstacle course in the water. It's a perfect balance, I would say.
Yeah, it's just inherently entertaining. I said it before and I'll say it again. I really actually do think that Gia is the odd man out. I don't know if she's it's in reaction to being raised by Teresa that she's so like sort of stoic or something, but she kind of acts like she's everybody's mom in a way that annoys me, and I'm like, have some fucking fun.
True, but I actually I agree, and I agreed with you last week. But I'm still enjoying Gia as just a unique, person on this cast who has a different sensibility. I believe that Gia in her life probably has had to adopt that mentality with a lot of things that have gone on as Teresa and Joe's daughter, and being the eldest daughter of four other children. I just think that might come naturally to her, even though sometimes it seems like she's trying to push the cast in different ways because she thinks that she's knows how Bravo shows go. But for me, I felt like when she was like maybe talking to Riley about how she seemed too harsh or something, it felt natural, like Gia felt that in a way. But you're right that as far as like a Gen Z kid running around New York City and going to nightclubs and stuff, she's not part of that world at all.
She
and
doesn't
enjoy
go
it.
to New York.
Yes.
Like it's almost like she is a housewife that's like coming in from a different city, and it's like, you don't even go here.
Yes, but I don't want to take Gia off yet. I think that there's still merit to Gia and her boyfriend Charlie. I believe when she
Christian.
Charlie, oh my God, what the hell was I thinking? Charlie's a different cast member. No, like there was time. Anyway, we'll talk about this at a high level. But where we're at in Next Gen NYC is that they all went to Jersey to celebrate Brooks. They're at Jersey Shore, and it's like the perfect cast trip for me because they're all young and fun and just chaotic. And it is just really rebelling against all the shit we've seen on cast trips for years, which I really like. They just like don't give a shit about like house rules, or there's so much chaos about like not who's sleeping where, but like Georgia goes to the hotel, for a night because she can't stand being around them anymore. Like her and Omar get a hotel, and like it's just so much more freewheeling, in a way than we're used to, which I really like.
Yeah, it reveals her in her hotel room, which they describe as the high roller suite, and I'm like, did Omar pay for that? Did she like finagle like from the show, like being like, we'll put it on camera? Like, how did they get the high roller suite?
I think Omar, I think it's safe to say Omar probably chipped in a little bit. No pun intended.
How rich is that guy?
She said he's very rich. She said he's got Airbnb properties. She said he made a huge deal in crypto. Like, I mean, I'm just taking.
She didn't seem confident in those facts.
Right, but I just kind of take for granted that he does have money. I mean, if he's willing to invest in a nightclub bowling alley, I don't care.
I think that's bullshit.
That he's going to invest in it?
Yeah.
Oh, why?
He doesn't look like he has money at all.
Oh, I think he has tons of money. I don't know anything. I don't know anything that shows money like that. I think he might have it might be like a Scrooge McDuck sitting on a bunch of cold gold coins.
We'll see. When she listed off, when they were like, what does he do for a living? She had no idea.
Yeah, but in New York, this is what I think. In the Big Apple, They don't know. Everyone is just. I'd
It's
say
her boyfriend.
right, but I think that he probably says, "Look at my bank account. I have $7 million in here," and he says all the stuff. I had crypto riches. I was a part of the early crypto craze. I did this startup. Like people don't know where anybody gets their money. I mean, I have friends, not friends, but know people all in my life all the time where I'm like, "What the hell is going on?" You know what I mean?
Well,
Like
it's
you don't.
usually just like their family, so I
Well,
don't know what his background is,
well,
but
maybe she
I
doesn't want
just
to. Maybe she doesn't want to say Omar is independently wealthy. I mean, there's probably a lot of. I mean, I would assume. I mean, just I don't want to say this word, but people that have family wealth that are just and they allowing them to coast and do whatever they want. But if it's going to end up being a thing where like Omar is lying that he can invest and like Georgia's taking him at his word, that would be interesting. I didn't even think of that as a possibility.
I mean, we're not seeing a bowling alley. She's not building a bowling alley. I'm not seeing that happening.
Oh my God. Now that we're talking about Next Gen NYC, we're going to have different opinions. I thought when I was watching that, I was like, Georgia's going to show them all second season. She's going to have the hottest club in New York City. We have
It's
that.
gonna cost. Can you imagine if it cost $3 million to renovate Tom Tom? What that would cost, including a bowling alley inside?
Omar's good for it. I swear, I thought that season 2 of Next Gen NYC is going to open at that club bowling alley, and she's going to be rubbing it in all of their faces, saying, "Look what I did." We have, what's that bowling alley in Highland Park that is basically having to turn people away every
Highland
single
Park. It
minute?
got closed for rats.
It did. Well, if
But
anyone would,
wasn't that that's like a historical? Did they just build it in that style? It didn't exist before.
it was already that.
Highland Park
it was
Bowl.
the facade, Highland Park Bowl. It had that facade or whatever already, but they built a modern bowling alley within it. But that when she was talking about it, I was like, we have that in Los Angeles. I imagine people who want to bowl would also want to party their asses off and get cafeteria food and dance in a. I didn't think it was so wild that.
Well, I'm just saying, I bet Highland Park Bowl is owned by like a big hospitality group that owns like 10 other places. And I need more information about how a 24-year-old girl is going to build a bowling alley in New York City.
Holy shit. Okay, well let's keep track of that. I wonder what really is going to happen. I think I really felt like I trust Georgia's event planning skills and Omar's wealth, and I was ready to see this thing come to fruition or flourish in. So it starts. I mean, I guess we don't have to go so I don't know through everything, but there's kind of like they're kind of all dealing with how to navigate with Charlie because Charlie has pissed off so many people. And a huge through line is that Charlie said what he said about Georgia, that he said, hey, he said these horrible things. He goes, "You're a delusional person." He said it even worse than that. "And if you were a man, I'd slap you in the face right now," after
He
they
also
fought.
said she's poor.
And he also said she's poor. So then there's been this divide with the cast where when Ariana smiled in a photo with Charlie, Georgia was really drunk. And Riley and Georgia kind of linked up and said, "What a fake two-faced person that she would ever smile with Charlie in a photo." And then Gia and Ariana were like, "What are we supposed to do? I'm sitting right next to him. Smiling does not mean endorsement or whatever." You know what I mean? So there was like this divide. And then Georgia ends up having to apologize to Ariana in this episode because she knows that she was not doing the best job. Like she was whispering at the table. It was not that big of a deal. And she forgives Ariana, which I thought was really sweet that they didn't let this go on forever. And Ariana, I think she knew, and she has respect for Ariana, knew that she had good intentions, or mostly has good intentions. So she couldn't stay mad at her for too long.
Right. There's also a through line this episode that Riley gets lit when she's drinking and becomes a little bit spicy. At one point, Georgia is like still at the hotel and she's like, "I don't have any of my shit. Riley, come to the cabana with me." And then Riley doesn't even bring any of the stuff, so she has to wear a robe the rest of the episode.
I loved that. And also Riley is so hungover that they're drinking mimosas, and Riley goes to where all the food is, and she grabs a big dollop of, I think, sour cream and just drops it in her champagne. And Georgia goes, "What is that?" And she goes, "Oh, I thought it was whipped cream for the champagne. I've never seen anything in my life like that before." So she had to just drink champagne with, I think, sour cream in it the
Yeah,
rest of the
she
day.
was falling apart.
Yeah.
Um, Everyone else gets like a pontoon by the shore. And then when Georgia and Riley come join them, I think I don't know if I think she's both maybe hungover and drunk, but
Right.
she drops her phone. It falls onto this inflatable thing in the water, bounces off, and goes into the ocean immediately. And everyone on the boat is like, "What the fuck is going on over there?" Like, one of them's in a robe, the other one is crawling around on the floor. Like,
Yeah, and then Riley says, "I will give $1,000 to anyone who will deep sea dive and get my phone back." And Charlie goes, "I'll do it," and immediately goes in to try to find the
this
phone.
broke ass.
Yeah, because he wants $1,000. Obviously, I mean, what an offer! I mean, I would have done it for maybe $50.
I love, was it Ariana or Riley that was like, "Oh, he wanted to do it that bad for $1,000. We're never getting paid back for that night at the box."
Yeah, totally. And then Charlie has to come up and can't find it. And Georgia goes, "I'll do it. I just need a T-shirt because I'm completely topless under this robe." So she buys Charlie or borrows a Charlie shirt, and she goes into the water to find it. And then neither of them can. I think it's much deeper than you would ever imagine. And then Riley says, "Well, I guess I have to go to my second phone that I have."
Yeah, they're all like, Jesus Christ. Um, so then we it's Amira?
Yes,
Okay,
Amira.
Amira. Yeah. She teases that she's still pissed off about Georgia bringing up her Red Robin order last episode, where she just ordered a ton of food, which I understood where they were like, "We already grocery shopped and we're going to dinner later. Kind of weird for you to order a whole spread, but okay."
Yeah, yeah. No, I got both. I got both sides, but sometimes when you get that Red Robin craving,
Red
big
Robin
burger.
posted about this, by the way.
They did.
Yeah.
They said, "Wow, don't ever shame anyone ever again for wanting to order Red Robin."
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, no, yeah. So, but then the Ozempic comment was one of those comments where it's in ill taste, but it was kind of makes you laugh because you're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe Georgia said something like that."
Yeah.
And then Amira is still stewing, about that, and is going to bring that up a little later at this dinner that they have.
Yes. Um, then so yeah, we go, there's gonna have this dinner is Jersey Shore themed, so people sort of dress up for that. Charlie also throughout this episode keeps calling and texting Ava, who is like just doesn't want to come. Like, she had an excuse, but then she didn't go to the thing that was the excuse, and she just doesn't seem that into it. She's sort of a blasé. Or I just remembered this word from RuPaul's Drag Race, flazé-da, which I feel like she's sort of flazé-da. Like, she's like, I think she should get fired. That's my attitude right now, is I'm like, you don't care about this enough. Bye.
Yeah, I think that at this stage, we're going to need the cast members to sort of be around each other and interact and show off those dynamics. And I don't think Ava is ready to have her own Dame Dash and her spinoff, like it's kind of happening this episode where they're talking about that slutty vegan. I think that's what
Right.
the restaurant is called. And like the Charlie is going to invest. It's like it's too soon for that. I think we got to commit to the Jersey Shore trip because we're not like fully dedicated to Ava's journey yet. I hope that she commits though, because I really do like Ava. I really felt that she's provided some great moments already. I like her overall just demeanor in scenes. And then when she kind of called out Ariana for not having that, or for starting a fashion line, it was very mean. But she said it in a way that I think probably 80% of the audience is saying, "How does Ariana have a fashion line?" So many people probably felt that way about Ariana. So for her to just bring that up in the moment and be like, "What is she talking about?" I think like she spoke for probably a lot of people in that scene, and it didn't come off as like too mean spirited to me. So that kind of, I don't know, that might be sort of helpful for the future.
Yeah,
Ava
I
having,
also love that. I feel like Charlie thinks he's too cool for the show, but Ava like actually is, in the sense that she just doesn't even show up. And so he's like, "Where are you? Like, you should be here. Why aren't you here?" Like, I think he thinks she's beautiful and
oh
she's
yeah.
actually rich and like cool. And he's like, "Fuck."
Yeah, I think he secretly, I mean, I don't, maybe not so secretly. I think he really loves Ava and has a
Yeah.
crush on her. Do you think Charlie thinks like he's too good for this show?
Yeah, I think he like thinks everyone's a loser and like even the way he sits in his confessional, he's like splayed. Like he's so like man spread and like he's just like whatever, like but he totally needs it like
Right,
for
and then we
many
also heard,
reasons.
yeah, it's also heard like he was like thinking about all the casting decisions and getting mad, and he keeps bringing up that he brought Georgia onto the show and stuff. So he like obviously cares about it.
Yeah.
Like he was part of the
But he's
casting,
always
and
threatening to leave. Like he took
yeah,
the Uber home from
yeah,
Teresa's house. He like was sitting on the boardwalk, like threatening to leave. Like he's always like 1 foot out the door.
yeah. Yeah, totally. I think you're right. I think that his ego is so big that he knows that he'll be fine no matter what happens with the show. But it actually provides a lot of great moments, that flippant attitude, and all of his fourth wall breaks have been kind of like funny, so far. Whenever he breaks the fourth wall. Okay, do you want to get to this dinner or any other stray moments? I mean, Brooks has been running around this house with a zapper, killing flies. The entire time, which I thought was kind of notable. Like, I don't even kill flies in my house at all. I put them in a paper towel and I release them. So the idea of like electrocuting them with a big racket was kind of shocking to me. I think one of the cast members says he's running around like Hannibal Lecter in here.
He also Instacarted crochet supplies so that he could just like crochet in the background. He barely speaks this whole episode. They keep doing like a funny edit where he's like thinking about other stuff and like what his mom is up to and like the sharks in the sea because he's just like not about the drama.
Yeah. No, yeah, he doesn't like confrontation at all, which was really exhibited when Charlie was telling anybody who would listen that he wants to have sex with his sister, and Brooks would not tell Charlie specifically that hurt his feelings. He would only tell everyone else so that they would bring it up to Charlie in his stead. So yeah, he hates that. But this Jersey dinner, I mean, it looks beautiful. They're all dressed in like, what do you call this kind of stuff? Jersey Shore stuff. I don't even know what the hell this is. And then Georgia goes, "Hey, I toast to Brooks, but I got to tell you about this amazing idea I had, which you and I already talked about a little bit. It's a bowling alley.
A
It's gonna
brutalist
it's
bowling alley.
it's gonna be like the Brutalist film because she had just seen the Brutalist. So it's gonna be a Brutalist bowling alley with a dance floor and also music, and then it's gonna have cafeteria style food. She said purple will be implemented in some way, and then they give her the long edit where everyone's like, what the hell is going on here? And then the funniest line to me of the entire episode was when Amira said, I have a piece of advice for you. If you plan to serve food there, I would not comment on what your patrons are eating ever. And I go, oh my God, that might be the best segue I've ever heard in my life to bring up
Yeah.
what you're conflicted about. It was
Yeah.
so funny and out of nowhere. And kind of perfect. And Georgia has no clue, what she's talking about in that moment.
Yeah. She stepped into Housewives' shoes.
Yeah.
Their friend, is it Shy?
Yes.
He joins and he seems like a little sweetie. When she says that, he's like, what the hell? Like, are we really doing this right now? Like, this isn't normal. Like, they're all completely shocked by this behavior because
Yes.
so far no one has done something like that was like a plot.
That's exactly what it was.
Thing, and they were all like, what?
Shy was stunned. He goes, wait, Amira, you said, let me offer you some advice. And he wanted to continue and be like, because she said something to you that you were offended by, and that was your segue towards it. Like, he's absolutely stunned how they're fighting for the rest of this episode. He cannot believe it.
Yeah. And everyone's shocked. And then she clarifies and she's like, oh my God, like, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't mean to offend you or whatever. And she was like, yeah, just, you should never talk about what people eat, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, totally, like, I'm sorry. And she goes, but about the food at my club, it really is going to be interesting. And everyone's like, that's not why she brought it up. You don't have to expand. And she's like, no, I really do want to talk about the food.
Yeah, and Gia goes, hey, I'm sorry, but I don't think that she cares about the food. And then Amira says, yeah, I don't really care about the food at all. I don't think I'm ever going to go there, which was really, pretty mean. Like, she's still pissed off at Georgia.
Yeah. And then Riley is lit again. And she's like, that sounds like a terrible idea. And Gia's like, don't be nasty. And they're all like, yeah, that was a little like mean. And she's like, what? And then she gets all, it's totally like, Riley just feels really young. Like she feels, I think, the youngest
Yeah.
of them all. And she's just like, she doesn't quite know how to hold her alcohol yet. She gets a little like loop-de-doo when she's drinking, and it's a
Mhm.
little hard to watch because you're like, you don't even mean what you're saying. This isn't like worthwhile drama because you're just, you know, being, you know,
Yeah, drunk, you
yeah,
drunk, and then Ariana kind of tries to say that too. Like Ariana really loves Riley, and I think that they like are going to be friends for a long time. Like they have a good dynamic, but both Gia and Ariana were kind of just being like, "Hey, that's like sort of a mean thing to say, just with no constructive criticism, like that's a dumb idea." So then Riley kind of gets upset because Gia calls it harsh. Riley kind of has a moment where yeah, she's off with Shy. Shy tries to calm her down and get her back, and then Shy again is kind of just like, wow, I thought that this was a dinner for Brooks. I've never seen anything like this in my life. People fighting like this, and then he does this really funny role playing thing where he says like, pretend I'm Gia, and then you're trying to apologize to me, and they like just can't get through it because it's just so funny. But then Riley ends up coming back and does just apologize to Gia and say, I appreciate that, what you said, and I just want to have a nice dinner for the rest of the night. So I
yeah.
thought that was nice.
Shy is also like, they're like, where have you been? Because he came on the second day and he's like, I have a 9 to 5 job. Like,
Yeah.
I actually work. I'm the only one.
Yeah, totally. And what I've liked so far also is that there is a lot of resolution with this cast. On other franchises, we would be talking about Ozempic for 6 episodes. We would
Yeah.
talk about Ariana smiling with Charlie in that photo for 6 episodes. We would talk about Speakergate for a long time. And
Yeah.
they're actively, for some reason, they're mature enough and they don't care about the scandal or conflict enough to just be like, that didn't really hurt my feelings, or I'm willing to work on this. So there's a lot of just like petty grudges that come up, like Riley versus Ariana, Riley versus Georgia, Georgia versus Ariana, and then they just get resolved within 6 hours or something because they're just like, oh no, I think that you're a good person and I want to be friends with you. They don't need it. They're not clamoring for drama like on other
Yeah.
franchises.
Yeah. Like when Charlie and Georgia were texting, she makes a joke like, why? Because I'm poor.
Yeah.
And they're like, haha. Like they move on. It's like, great.
Yeah, and they show Riley. They show that Riley, after the Ariana photo, the smiling, that she went up to Charlie and she goes, "I don't like you right now, but please come play crabs with me in the corner because I want to play. I want to gamble with you or whatever." Like it's just not that deep. It's not that serious. These feuds so
Yeah.
far.
And Gia and Riley make up immediately after this dinner.
Yeah.
And then they go inside, and it's Georgia, Shy, and Riley. And Shy is like, why are we fighting about all this dumbass shit when we're in this like beautiful house? Like, this is such a privileged argument. Like, look at where we are. And George is like, why is it privileged? Like, I'm not privileged. I've worked my ass off for this fucking bowling alley or like everything I've
Uh-huh.
done. And he's like, no, I'm just saying, like, we look around, like, this is a stupid, like, petty thing. And Riley's like, no, like, anyone can be privileged. Like, it just means that you have more than other people do. And Georgia really doesn't want to say that she's privileged because, we know her backstory. Like, her dad, like, fled after 9/11 and left them
Yeah.
with nothing, and she had to like build herself. And she goes, yeah, like my boyfriend is rich, but I manifested that, which I love. If I ever get accused of being privileged, I'm gonna say, well, I manifested it, so fuck you.
Totally. Oh my God. I'm gonna say that all the time now. This whole privilege conversation just felt like a drunken fight that like you would have with
Yes.
your friend. Like it wasn't
It didn't even make
serious.
sense.
And then like Riley was like, I'm just fighting for this position. I'm not personally damning you with any of these accusations. She's like, I'm fighting what Shy said 10 minutes ago and he's already left. Like this kind of stuff just like bubbles up naturally when you're on a trip. So I kind of enjoyed that even. It's like in the morning, they're just going to forget this completely too. Georgia was just too drunk to articulate what she was trying to say. And Riley was just saying, everyone is privileged if you think about it in a way, and especially us when we just had a chef, give us
Yeah.
dinner and stuff like that. So, just kind of a random drunken fight that people would have when you've been staying up too long and it's 3 a.m., and you're just around people. So that was it. And Ariana comes down and Ariana goes, and another thing. No, I'm just kidding. But she does go down and she goes, Riley, you can't get, or no, Riley, you can't get mad if you said such a mean comment like that. Like not everybody wants
Yeah,
to.
she called Georgia a dumb bitch. Like she kept calling her dumb over and over again.
Yeah. Riley called Georgia a dumb bitch, which also very kind of, very mean. And I'm sure that's not something that she would stand by. And Georgia says, you're saying exactly what Charlie said to me, a delusional bitch. Like I can't believe it. And that's when Ariana kind of tries to you know, stop the conversation. And because she's kind of on both of their sides, but then she goes to hug Georgia because Ariana and Georgia's friendship is something I really enjoy. They just met each other, but they really have a fondness for each other. And then Riley's drunk and she's like, oh, look at who Ariana goes to. There's going to be this two-faced narrative about Ariana, but I think it's just that Ariana likes everyone and has a good, strong moral compass and chastises people when she feels like they're in the wrong and celebrates people when they're in the right. So far,
Right.
that's what I've seen from
Yeah.
Ariana.
Yeah.
Great.
So yeah, more to come on the season finale. We'll see what that is. I wish there was a reunion. So that means it'll have been an 8-episode season.
8 episodes. I think it's good. I think it's fine for a first season to have 8 episodes. They really jam-packed so much stuff in it. And it's like maybe 12 episodes would have strung it along and we would have gotten speaker gate for way longer. Like if this is what you have, I think an action-packed 8 episodes is perfect for the first season. I'm very proud of everything they did with this, and I'm excited to talk about the finale with you next week.
Did we talk on mic about how Terry Dubrow said that they might do like multi-city Next Gen and that his son was approached possibly?
We didn't talk about that. I got enlightened to that fact that there might be an LA one. Good. I mean, I like Next Gen NYC, but I'm just, also, I don't know. It's got its own brand going. Maybe you don't want to like start to dilute that brand with another one, but whatever. If they do the same job as Next Gen NYC in LA, I'd be all for it. I mean, they did a great job before.
Yeah.
So great, wonderful. Well, I have to get out of here. Amy, thank you so much for talking about those two shows with me. What did we do? Did we fulfill everything that Turtle Time stands for?
I think so.
News, Valley,
Yep.
Next Gen NYC, which we said we would talk about. We'll continue to talk about that next week as we talk about the season finale. And I think that we've done our mission. Please leave a review if you enjoyed this episode on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Leave a nice comment, please. If it's mean, think about Amy and I as humans and how we read them and how it hurts our feelings. Patreon, $5 a month. You get access to the Vanderpump Rules recap series, which is fun as hell. I mean, oh my God, it's fun. And then that's it, right? Etsy store, Turtle Time Etsy, if you need a gift coming up for a loved one. So please, that's how you can help Turtle Time out. We love you so much, and we'll see you for our Friday episode.
See you then.
Bye.